What's up, you guys? Welcome to the May 12th injury analysis show. I'm Mike Gallagher. Gary will be on here in a second, but didn't want to keep you guys waiting any longer. And yeah, just could talk Denver for a second before Gary hops on. My God, I went to the game yesterday. Besides it being a blowout, just the Jokic pick and roll stuff, man. It's just like their shots were so easy, and it just when KCP's cooking you and getting great looks and just taking away their transition game, it was just like such a blowout. And I was sitting next to the people and they're like, "Oh no, we still got a chance." It's like, "Yeah, you don't. This game is so over." But it was definitely fun to go to a game. I've been to two of probably the worst Phoenix Suns losses of like the last couple decades with Game 7 against the Mavs and then last night. But yeah, it's going to fun going to games. Definitely wish I didn't go and save myself a little bit of money. Could maybe bet more on some stuff today, but hey. But yeah, we'll talk more about it. Definitely next week we'll be breaking down the pod and whoever Denver faces. They're going to be the favorites. Their home court has been pretty helpful for them. I think they are clicking at the right time. They've got a lot of ways to beat you. Their offense is unfreaking stoppable. And I don't think that the teams that are left, honestly, have the artillery to really slow them down with, the Lakers lacking on-ball defense and the Warriors, maybe having size issues. I think the Warriors are a better matchup for the Nuggets, but obviously the Warriors got some work to do. Yeah, energy in the stadium was a good question. There's a lot of booze, man. A lot of booze at half. That energy was gone in the second half. So it started great as all playoff games do. And I went to game 3 and it was really good. But yeah, it was a fun game to go to for the first half, the first quarter. And then you give up 81 points in the first half, and yeah, it's going to be pretty quiet. What's up, Gary?
Hey, Mike. Sorry about that. I had a salad pickup from Sweet Green that was not ready on time. But here I am. I'm back.
All their fault.
Yeah.
So injury report, one big one, and the only question of the day is: does Andrew Wiggins play? Let's start with that, and I'm going to start with where the injury's at. This is shot to Anthony Slater, kind of filmed it. You see him with five. There's a couple instances. Actually, I got running too early here. Yeah, 5 minutes left. He kind of gets hit on LeBron, and you see him grab his right there. You see him grab his ribs. So that's kind of where it started. He played through it. You definitely could see him later on, as this video is showing him kind of grabbing at his rib. Obviously, he found out he's got a cartilage tear. It's an injury that people generally play through, given the stakes. A must-win, win-or-go-home game for the Warriors. So I'm expecting him to play. But we'll talk about it if he doesn't play. But let's talk about how this affects him first. And everyone's been talking about this, is his pick-and-roll game has really stepped up. This is a really cool data visualization from Todd Whitehead, who works for Synergy Sports. He's an awesome follow. Shout out to him. But yeah, just the concentration of where AD is in defensive coverages is so cool. You could see that the Looney, Draymond, JaMychal Green, Gary Payton stuff, and you see Gary Payton pulled him out a little bit. But look at where he's at on Wiggins. I mean, they've been able to pull him all over the court and keeping him out of his comfort zone. So his offensive role is going to be screening more. You got a rib cartilage tear, and you're going to be screening. That's not fun. And then on the other side, he's going to be guarding LeBron. So there are some concerns on his effectiveness with this injury. Does it affect his shooting with, maybe muscles and stuff there? But yeah, really impactful injury, and we'll be keeping an eye on. Anything you wanted to add on Wiggins before we talk about on the unlikely scenario where he's sitting?
No, I think let's just dive right into that. So
Yeah.
Obviously, as you mentioned, cartilage injury, people play through it. If he does not, and again, I would imagine he does facing elimination, but if he does not, or if he's just limited and maybe he re-injures or aggravates, how do you expect them to fill in?
Yeah, and should mention too, just like they didn't mention it post game. I think that was, and I honestly think they're just like reporting it because they kind of have to. We always get so pissed when stuff's not reported, right? So good on the Warriors for reporting it. But I just to be clear, I'd be really shocked if he doesn't try to play. If I'm wrong, I think there's a few options. I think Jordan Poole is honestly the most likely. That means you're going to put Gary Payton on LeBron, obviously giving him a ton of size, and you're really just leaning into shooting and speed, just praying Poole is good. And then if he's bad, you basically are just swapping in Moses Moody. Like, okay, this thing sucked. We're dead. Poole didn't have it today. that would mean Moody's minutes get elevated. I think that's one scenario. I think the other scenario, and we saw a lot of this when Andrew Wiggins was out, we saw a lot of Dante DiVincenzo. So in that scenario, again, Gary Payton would be guarding LeBron, Dante would be guarding D'Lo. We're actually going to talk about the Lakers adjustments that are going to be coming here in a second too. So I think those are the two most likely scenarios. Maybe it's Moody. I would be shocked if they go back to Kevon Looney in the big starting lineup. That lineup's been getting wrecked. They're minus 34 net rating in the 21 or so minutes they've run this out there in this series. It's been a complete disaster with the double big. So that's kind of where I'm at. I mean, maybe they roll Kuminga just to eat some LeBron minutes, put some size on LeBron. There's kind of a 1-for-1 athleticism wing defender situation. I'd be pretty shocked if they did that. But hey, start out that way, and it's only 5 minutes of the game. If you find out it's working, great. If it's not, whatever. See, stinks for the 5 minutes, buddy. But not confident in really any of these answers. But again, I am pretty confident he's going to play. Yeah,
I'd have a hard time seeing Kuminga. Just the lack of willingness that Kerr has shown to even put him in the game to try anything new. So,
or JaMychal too. I think JaMychal's more likely than Looney.
Yeah, he probably is.
But that is nasty, man, for offensive spacing.
It's possible that if Wiggins is limited, though, they do need more rebounding in general. Wiggins has been an effective rebounder over the last two playoff runs here. So we did see Looney play high in minutes for this series. Maybe he's feeling better. It's possible we get more Looney here tonight. Anything else you're looking for the Warriors in Game 6 here?
No, we could hop to the Lakers.
Yeah, cool. Sorry, I'm having allergies.
Yeah, I'll kick the lead off then. Obviously, Anthony Davis. We saw he had a concussion scare. It sounds like he's okay. Within a wheelchair. Obviously, people had fun. I wouldn't say fun. They were kind of jerks on the commentary on it. But anyways, so sounded like he got cleared the night of. Chris Haynes and Dave McMenamin both reported yesterday that he's looking good, expected to play, assuming no setbacks. So it looks like he's good. Playing a lot of minutes. We know that. We lost Gary's camera. I feel pretty good he's going to play a lot. Does it affect him? Maybe this affected his routine mid-game. Those are questions that we're not going to have answers to. But they've been playing really well at home. The Warriors have missed a lot of shots at Crypto/Staples. So that's a big unknown as well. But the other, so AD full go. I don't think any limitations are out there. They're playing him a ton. He is being asked so much defensively.
Yeah.
So I feel pretty good about that. The other thing that we don't feel good about is who starts. We've seen full on Keith Bogan's Vanderbilt go out there, start, and I mentioned this on the content that it was so clear he was done. The Warriors come out red hot to start the game. And I was like, okay, bye, Vando. I thought he might be done for the game, but they still start in the second half. Somebody might again. We are projecting him to sort of not start. So just to wrap up the Vando thing, there's a chance he's still, I think, actually subs in behind Anthony Davis. We've seen Kevon Looney in those non-AD minutes make a pretty big impact on the glass. Vanderbilt's a pretty good rebounder, especially earlier as Nuggets days, as college rebounding rates were absurd. So definitely something I would, I think he would, I think that makes sense, because we know Darvin Ham probably doesn't want to run 7. Maybe they do. Maybe they bring Troy Brown back. But I think the headline here is the 7 that they got could be, really strong. Dennis Schroeder could play a lot. I actually initially thought that Lonnie Walker made sense to start. But, I mean, we've seen, when in doubt, and Schroeder's playing okay, Ham just wants to play Schroeder, man. We've seen him play, like, sub in early third and then run out there the whole court, the whole half. So I actually think Schroeder is the most likely to start, and then Lonnie, and then a really big dip to, I guess it'd be Rui Hachimura, getting a little bit of size, a little bit of shooting. That way you can kind of still play the way you want to play. And then shocker would be Troy Brown. I don't think that would be the case, but I think Vando's. I mean, we've seen 4 games in a row. Last 4 games, this starting lineup with Vanderbilt is like minus 23 net rating and like a 54 minute sample or whatever it is. So pretty big sample of being disaster. So that's got to go. Clearly, I think the Warriors have the momentum. Obviously, it's 1-1, but the Warriors should have freaking won Game 4, if not for Lonnie Walker nuke and just offensive meltdown. The Warriors should have had that one. So it seems pretty clear that that's the move that the Lakers got to make.
Yeah, I agree with Vanderbilt. I think the only time we see him tonight is if they have to go like offense defense at some point. I really don't don't see his role here. My guess would be Schroeder, just given how willing they are to close with him and go with those 3 guards and everything. Just he fits whatever type of construction they want. So he makes the most sense. I'm also not worried at all about Anthony Davis tonight. If he was cleared right away, it's if you get a big bang in the head, like you're going to get shaken up for a while, and you take all the precaution that you can. I don't blame them at all for taking him in the wheelchair for your fragile max contract asset that you need to have any shot to win anything. So given the fact that he was cleared so fast, I'm not concerned at all there. I think he's got the highest ceiling on the slate per usual.
Really? Not Steph?
Well, it's it's close. Usually,
not Brunson, not Brunson. Not Jimmy.
Brunson's got the highest. I mean, I'm talking straight projection wise. It's been 8. Steph is like last game on DraftKings. Steph and him were like tied. Steph had like a 0.2 edge actually. So yeah, it's technically Steph was right up there with him, but AD I think has the highest projected.
Yeah, Steph's been cold. He's actually been really bad shooting in Los Angeles too. So, but I think that mostly covers it. Obviously, LeBron's going to play a bunch. We've seen D'Lo's minutes get hurt a little foul trouble. Rui's minutes have been solid. I think Schroeder could play a ton. Lonnie is full on in the good graces now. Definitely a rotation lock there as well.
I agree. Yeah, big minutes for Lonnie. We'll talk through more of that on the DFS show at 5 about how to handle those secondary Lakers, but it's going to be an interesting part for sure. All right, let's go to the early game now. Not as much intrigue there. I think we know from the injury stuff for the Knicks. Manuel Quickly is going to still be out, as we thought. I think it's a high ankle sprain. They're just not kind of calling it that. So going to be doubtful. I doubt we see him. Even if they somehow get through 7, I think he'd be in doubt for most of the next series. So, we're not expecting to see anything of him. Obviously, the big note for the Knicks in game 5 was the 48 minutes for Brunson and Grimes. Both guys did not sit. Was really impressive. The Grimes, in part to Josh Hart being both in foul trouble the whole game and terrible for the combination of both things. So I think, Brunson, if I were to pick which one of them had the better chance at going 48 again, it would be Brunson. But by a lot. By a lot. But I do think if Hart's minutes are more effective this time, I think it's at the expense of RJ. I think Grimes is locked in for a huge role regardless. He's too important to what they're doing, both on-ball defense, spacing, three-point shooting, just everything. And something Tibbs took too long to figure out in the series, but finally figured out.
Yeah. So, RJ's been playing well, though. And
he's been great. He's been great. And they're both going to have more minutes than Hart. They're both going to have more minutes than Hart regardless. But I do think Barrett's so you see that 38 there. I think he'd be more in line for the 34, 35, where Grimes is coming in around 40 in both scenarios in my estimation today.
Yeah. And I mentioned this on the whatever show I did podcast. I really believe that they weren't planning to put Brunson 48, maybe the whole second half, but 2 games ago, they started him in the second quarter and then found a spot to sit him for a few minutes where they went to Deuce. So what happened in game 5, they had the same plan, I think, but they were just cooking to start the set. You with as hot as he was, you can't take him out. I mean, just can't do it with your season on the line. So I think they're gonna have kind of the same plan. Sub him out 9-10 minutes left in the second quarter, bring him back in 6:30, whatever. So I'd be pretty surprised if he goes 48 again. Hart in insta foul trouble, picks up a foul again in the third quarter, and just like, all right, dude, you're done.
This isn't a series. It's not a series. First of all, he's got the yips shooting wise again, which is a big problem. When he first came over in the trade, that was all the buzz coming out of Portland that he wasn't shooting threes this year. He was kept passing them up. And then us Knicks fans, we see him, he comes over in the trade and he's not only is he shooting them willingly, he was hitting them at like 50% for 2 or 3 a game. It was really amazing. And now in the playoffs, it's just gotten worse and worse by the series. He's just unwilling to shoot. And that just takes away so much. And then when he's not like as impactful on the boards against this team, and he's just playing a little recklessly with the fouls, like it's just Barrett and Grimes makes so much more sense. So yes, will Hart get more than 9 minutes tonight? I would put a lot of money on it. But the downside is there still. I think very clearly Brunson, Barrett, Grimes, huge minutes for all 3 of those guys coming. Randall, assuming we don't get reckless, kind of unhinged Randall, big minutes coming for him too. And then, Mitch and Hartenstein should pretty much split the 48 again. And then,
2 things to add. One, Julius Randle, horrendous first quarter, and it cost him about a half rotation in the second quarter, corrected it.
Which is when they got back in the game, which was those OB minutes, and it was incredible. Yeah.
Yep. But corrected it. I thought his second quarter close was really strong. I thought he looked pretty good in the third, good in the fourth, played 20.5 minutes in the second half. So he's still got a pretty big minute ceiling. We took an under on him, so we kind of hope he does not.
Yeah.
And the matchup's pretty tough. And then one other thing to
Very
add, we saw Hakamich late in the game. I don't know if they want to go to it earlier. He made it. I think he went 3 or 4 in the Hakamich, and then Tibbs did sub him out.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's something to keep an eye on. Definitely, I think makes Hartenstein a little more viable, and also, you know, a little more variance to Mitch. We saw he played awesome, man. I mean, he impacted the game so much that he impacted the game so much that they were trying to take him out of the game. You know, so that's kind of a clear indication that Spoelstra doesn't want him in the game. And it's kind of one thing to consider if he does have a big impact again. I don't think they're going to go to that right away. Obviously, you know, maybe you try to get him into foul trouble first. That's kind of that's the more logical approach. But yeah, pretty solid spot. Obviously, you know, I'm the low man on Grind. I think that Hart's been like just run so bad, and we saw he was so good in the Cleveland series. Took Donovan out of the series.
Oh, he was great. He's been him and Randall both. I mean, Randall obviously, I'm with you. You really impressive bounce back in the second half. But him and Randall both this series have been really bad. Now Hart's been consistently bad. And it makes sense. Their style of play is it's clashing with this Miami team. And the other thing, and I think another reason why they went to Hakamich, by the way, is the Knicks picked up their pace in this game. And they really, you know, I think it created a lot of different opportunities. You know, both teams want to play in the half court and play slow. The Knicks did try to pick up the pace a little bit. And I think that was another reason to go to the Hakamich, both for, you know, make them earn it, plus slow them down, because I think they were, you know, having a little bit of luck in the fast break and things like that. So.
Yeah, the very, very crisp offense overall. And then, Miami's a 3-point funnel. We talk about this all season. You know, they get up a lot of 3-pointers.
Yep. Yeah, as for the Knicks, so we'll see what happens tonight. You know, he finally had a game where they didn't shoot well. So
hard series to bet on, man. I mean, just 3-point shooting is going to swing it. You can't really predict that. So tough to bet.
Yeah. Miami side of things looks like Gabe Vincent's role is starting to diminish more, as you know, we've seen now 2 games in a row where he's been more in the low 20s. Kyle Lowry just more trusting overall on the floor. This was a Duncan Robinson game, though. That was my biggest takeaway. You know, 22 minutes. The Knicks survived a 5 3-point game from Duncan Robinson, which was pretty crazy. Frustrating to watch as a Knicks fan. Obviously, Caleb Martin's minutes seem to be super locked in, and then we know obviously Butler, Bam, going to play big minutes. Yeah,
we saw pretty. I think Gabe, as you mentioned, I think Gabe losing minutes is the headline. We've seen 2 games in a row. You know, not coincidentally, they've been using him on Brunson. Brunson's been cooking him. Lowry's been playing better. I thought Caleb's energy was really big in the third quarter, and he's going to guard Brunson. They need more length to guard Brunson. It's quite obvious to me. So yeah, I think Gabe Vincent's floor is dangerously low. Maybe he comes out hot and kind of corrects that. But if he's not making shots, he could be teens today. I think the minutes could be really cut. Obviously, Miami doesn't want to go back to New York. Max Strus mentioned was real light. I thought Duncan was getting attacked a little bit late to kind of get the Knicks really as their foundation, which the Knicks love to do. You know, Tibbs has always been a matchup hunter. So I think Strus bounces back with minutes. You mentioned Lowry. Kevin Love was terrible. Got nuked. You know, didn't come back in after the third quarter sub.
Yeah, I mean, if he's not going to hit a 3, he's got no business being in the game. So you know, he was 0-7, 2-10. Not his game. He's had a couple better ones this series. The Knicks are going to continue to attack Strus or Robinson. Obviously, Strus is a better defender than Robinson, though. We'll see. If Robinson wasn't so hot.
I was going to say a lot of Jimmy Bam pick and roll. Still waiting for the Knicks to kind of sell out and stop Jimmy. We haven't got like the true Jimmy impact. Game 1 sort of, but
I mean, he still does everything else. That's the thing, right? 9 assists, 7 rebounds. He's been crazy with the stocks. 6 stocks in this one. I mean, he is playoff Jimmy still. He's doing it in other ways. So you know, we'll see.
Maybe Jimmy's turn for 48.
Yeah, it could be. It very well could be. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Yeah. He is very much anything you can do, I could do better kind of a player. You know, it's like, oh, you're going to play Brunson 48? I got you.
Yep, for sure. We have no games tomorrow, do we?
We have no games tomorrow, but we could still talk Celtics Sixers.
Yeah, wow. I can't believe we have no games tomorrow. I just realized that for the first time. I'm like scheduled all day. I guess I don't really have any work to do. I'll work
around the house a little bit
for the Sunday. Yeah, exactly. We got more work to do for the baby, so that's good news for me.
Well, we could have 3 games on Sunday though, which my mom, I was like, I am having a Mother's Day dinner during freaking Celtics Sixers, dude. Like, oh god. I was like, and there's no TVs there. I'm like, oh my god.
We'd have 3 on Sunday, so it would be. It's Philly Boston game 7. If we have a Golden State Lakers, the Knicks would be Monday, I think.
Yep.
So
38 Simmons on Monday. Yep.
So it'll be only two on Sunday, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought they did. I thought I saw something. They were planning to do it at 2:30 or something.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I think
be wrong.
Knicks are.
I saw something about it. I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
Monday night at the Garden if we can get through tonight,
Yep.
which I'm very skeptical
yeah.
about. But yep. Okay, so yeah, let's talk Philly Boston. I mean, we were totally wrong on Malcolm Brogdon.
Yeah, totally wrong on Malcolm Brogdon.
Yeah, take it away. I mean, they only played 7, so which wasn't that surprising.
Yeah. Headline was Time Lord.
Yeah.
Really impacted the pick and roll game. We went into the series thinking like, oh baby, Embiid Harden pick and roll is cooking. It's just as good as the Jamal Murray Jokic pick and roll. No, it's not. It's pretty good though. But I thought that really disrupted the Philly flow of the offense. That was just a really sharp move that I was expecting that to happen. So, but yeah, he'll definitely start again. They'll probably go 7 again. So yeah, a lot of minutes upside. Mid-40s upside for Tatum, who, my God, missed everything. And I can't believe the Underdog promo. Underdog's running a promo.
It's so funny.
Yeah,
we should all get why not get involved?
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
Even though it's my guy. But, yeah, we'll see a lot of minutes. Again, Time looked great, man. And it was odd to see him go from like 2 minutes, 1 minute, 0 overlap, and now it's back. So I expect him to definitely start that way. Maybe we see Grant, if things are kind of going haywire with foul trouble, whatever. But yeah, it should be pretty tight on that end. Not really too much to say on Philly. Yeah, we see Niang, House's minutes got cut down a little bit, and just a lot of heavy minutes again. Tucker did get cut down because, again, Time Lord was helping off all the time, and they had to cut him down. So that's something to watch. I don't think they would pull the plug on that lineup to start, but could definitely see Tucker's minutes getting cut a little bit.
Yeah, and then on the low end guys, we only saw 8 minutes for House after playing a big role in Game 5. Niang back up to 15. Melton was in the mid-20s again. Maxi's been my takeaway the last 2 games. Really been very strong, putting up big numbers. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I think that does it. We'll be back. I think we'll be back on Monday. We'll see what the schedule looks like.
Yeah, I don't know what the schedule.
Actually, we don't know. I think it's only. Yeah, I think actually there's only one. If the Knicks win tonight, there's only one game Monday night. So we'll see.
Well, I'm not sure if game 1 of the Western Conference would be on.
Oh, right, you're right. Okay,
they'd probably want to run it Sunday.
If the Lakers
Sunday game.
So if the Lakers won tonight, okay. We'll be in touch reschedule with the schedule, obviously.
We'll probably do Monday. Well, if there's no games, we're obviously not going to do it.
Yeah. We'll have some shows next week for you. 5:00 Eastern. You will get Mike and myself behind the paywall.
No, sir.
No? Oh, is it Dink?
Dink's back, baby.
Is he back? Oh, I thought he was saying.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you.
Oh, did I miss that? Uh-oh.
I may have misread what he was saying in Slack yesterday, but at the very least, you're either getting Dink or myself. You'll have me either way, or Mike. Yeah. And I think Dink will be back for a somewhat normal schedule next week for all of you. I don't want to speak out of turn. He's dealing with some things, but all is well. But yeah, I do think he'll be back next week. But you'll have a good show for us behind the paywall at 5:00 to break down the 2-game slate. If you are not joining us behind the paywall, we will be with you through the conference finals and obviously through the end of these semifinals here. Breaking it down, great projections every single day. Obviously bringing you the content, top plays, matchups, live show Monday through Friday. We have discounted options throughout the playoffs. But if you're not, please do give us support on this video here. And of course, support the people that support us. Mike, tell us about the good old people at Underdog Fantasy.
Yeah, this show is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. If you have a Twitter account, you have to do this. It's
funny.
Free to do this. And yeah, apparently people are using my promo code because my Underdog account has more money in it now from the referrals.
Nice.
But yeah, use promo code ETR, guys. I don't want the money. We want a promo code ETR. Let the corporate benefit here from my clout.
Yep.
But yeah, you could use obviously take advantage of this. Best Ball Mania 4. You could do the fantasy picking games, use our projections for their games. Their drafts are really fun. Some overlay on those. Always shout out Underdog. Love it, man. What a great promo.
Yeah, week 17 schedule came out last night. So, the football drafts are about to be, all the best ball bros are in the streets now. Make sure you study up, know your week 17 matchups for BBM, puppies. I saw they released a couple more last night. The $101 single entry Dalmatian. They released the $500 Bulldog. So they're going all in on football already here mid-May. So it's going to be best ball summer's kicking into gear. And in New York City, it is definitely a best ball summer today. We're like 85 and sunny out here. It is a beautiful day.
Like
I mean, almost too hot.
Man.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. So we'll be back with you 5 o'clock.
Use promo code ECR. I gotta finish the promo code ECR at Underdog Fantasy, and that Titans schedule release video was hilarious. I do have to say that.
Yes. Oh, good. Yeah, good shout out to the Titans. And yeah, we'll be back 5 o'clock behind the paywall. Please do at least give us a thumbs up and subscribe here on the YouTube page. If not, we'll see you next week. All right. Good luck with your games, everybody. I'll have to say it. Go New York Knicks. Take care, everyone.